Hi, it's the 14th of October. I'm just in my bedroom and I was just look at these two fans that we have because Steve was really hot last night, and normally we have one on each side of the bed, which is probably a little over the top anyway, but we both just like the sound of the fans and a bit of circulation. But normally I'm rugged up because I can't stand the cold, but Steve stole that one from me. So that's why I have a fan in the background, because there are two and I just couldn't be bothered moving it. Anyway, it is about 4 o'clock in the afternoon and I have been doing a lot today, even though I feel like I've been beating myself up that I haven't done enough, but that's just because I made ambitious plans this morning. So I went to the gym this morning and did my gymnastics class that I do every Saturday, and did my best handstand yet. Actually, I held it for like 2 seconds, which might not sound like much, but it feels really good to actually finally be able to hold it for a tiny bit. So did that and then came home and actually made a plan for the week. I was saying in yesterday's vlog that I've been just feeling really off in terms of my productivity, just because I've been so tired, because I haven't been prioritizing sleep like I normally would. So I was saying yesterday I really wanted to plan properly, so this is what I did this morning. I don't know if you'll be able to see it. Oops. Let me just change the thing off. So it's probably quite hard to read, but I have my work in there every weekday, at my part-time job, and also my gym in the morning and my morning routine, which is meditation, reading, and self-coaching scholars, the online program I do. And then I have scheduled in lots of other things. Friday is my day off. It just says chill. And clean my car on Monday morning, which is part of self-coaching scholars and the whole Organize Your Life month. So I did that, and I did that, just in case you're interested, by looking at the action list that I created with my coach kit on Thursday, and breaking it down into smaller tasks and then putting those tasks on my calendar. The only thing is that today I still struggle with creating a proper time for everything, like how long things will take, because you want it to be short enough in a sense that it creates some urgency, but not too short that it's unrealistic. So I underestimated how long the blogging guide I'm making at the moment would take. So it is, I'm running behind, but I've left a bit of room in my schedule for when that happens, just so it's not like the whole thing goes to shit if it does. But I'm still, just learning how to do that. And I think it just comes from practice and not giving up. Like, often I think when I find myself not following through with plans, what I want to do is to stop making plans. But I was thinking this morning as well, when I was making them, that like, if it's so hard for me to figure out ahead of time what to do, I have no chance in the moment when I'm not feeling like it. So it is really important just to take that 30 minutes a week and plan everything, and each time I do it I'll get better at it. So even if I'm not great at it this week, it's really important that I don't give up on it to save myself disappointment, because I feel like I disappoint myself much more when I haven't made plans, because I end up doing much less. So that's where I'm at. Just been sitting in bed. I was working from my desk earlier, but I don't know. I was just feeling like sitting on my bed and typing this stuff out for you guys, and I hope it's really helpful. It's really challenging to make a simple blogging guide without going into everything, because there are so many aspects of it, but I really just want to help you guys get kick-started and give you a bit of advice about mind management and managing imposter syndrome, and whether you should tell your friends about it, and what to expect in the first few months, because my advice is really to expect no one will read it, because often when you're first getting started with a blog, no one will read it, especially if you're not going to tell your friends and family. and you're relying on other people finding it. But that's really when you find your voice and you figure out what you want to write about, and you can change your design heaps, or you can do that at any time, but you can change your name, you can do all of that if you want to, and to really cherish that beginner's time, because I think often when we're starting anything new, we think it'll be easier once we're good at it and once we have people listening and people praising us. But as someone who was once a beginner, and as someone now who gets a lot of emails every day from you guys that are so lovely, saying how my blog and my work is changing your life, I still have the fear and self-doubt, and I still get the imposter syndrome, and I'm getting a lot better at that, particularly in the last couple of months, as I've been doing so much personal development work and had quite a few revelations. But it doesn't get easier as you get more successful, and often the pressure that we create in our minds of having a lot of eyes on you, and to live up to what you've already created, can be crippling as well. So it doesn't get easier as you get more successful, but it certainly is worth it and is worth the journey. So yeah, I'm writing that. It's taking a bit longer, but I'm just being kind to myself, but also not letting that be an excuse to not do other things, because it can be like, oh well, I'm not having a productive day, and like I just now want to watch Netflix or whatever. So I'm doing my best still and continuing on. Today, Steve and I and his dad and some family friends went to have a look at the house again that we are buying, as long as everything, all the finance and building and pests are all good. They were having an open home, which apparently is standard to do that even when it's under contract. So we were like, oh, we'll just go and have another look. So we did that this morning, which took about an hour. And I also made some cupcakes for Steve's mum. It was her birthday yesterday, and I didn't realize. And I was like not in an amazing mood because I was so tired. Then this morning I was like, I'm so sorry, I didn't realize, and I was so caught up in my own stuff that I didn't notice. So I made some cupcakes, which are her favorite ones, butterfly cake. So I did that today as well, which took about an hour, but I really wanted to do that. So yeah, that's where I'm at, just sitting in bed. I've got my Earl Grey tea, but I have actually been drinking it black at the moment. The other day we didn't have milk, and I just had it without milk, and I was like, it's actually not so bad. So that's all I really have to say for today. Nothing too interesting, but that's just how I am planning my week and using iCal to do it. It took about 30 minutes. So step 1 was writing out everything that I wanted to work on. My back's getting really sore from sitting in this funny position. Step 2 was writing out everything and breaking that down into smaller subtasks, just so I can try and give a good time estimate. Then the second step was breaking each of those things, like figuring out how long they would probably take. Not great at that, but getting better. And I totally forgot to even write in there that I would need to film this. So that's like just stuff like that, but get better, you live and you learn. So yeah, so we're at today. Tomorrow I'm just working all day from home, no plans. I should probably force myself to leave the house at some point, because it's looking like it's one of those days. I've got I'm just looking at what I've got planned. 6:30 a.m. schedule 3 vlogs. 10 a.m. write my weekly newsletter and schedule it. 11:30 create 20 quotes for Instagram. 2 p.m. work on photography for Instagram and my blog, which is something creative that I want to do. 5 p.m. schedule 3 Insta posts. 6 p.m. organize my desk, which is part of Self-Coaching Scholars, and 7 p.m. sort out my iPhone. So I've got myself working from 6:30 till 8. Steve is working from he leaves at 6 and he gets home at 8, so that's why I've done it. But now I'm looking at it, I've given myself half an hour between 9:30 and 10, half an hour between 1:30 and 2, and half an hour between 5:30 and 6. So that should probably actually be like 6:30 and 7. So I might need to revise this a little bit. Just I think that's what I'm going to do this week as well, because what I find is that when I am writing, planning, and this is why I don't like to, I like to do it in a physical one, but I find I like having it on my laptop because it's easy to move things around. Every day I am going to review this and make any adjustments, because I find if I made a plan and I haven't followed it, then it can really be that all or nothing thing, and I'm like, oh, well, the whole plan's shit now. But instead of doing that, I can actually edit it as I go, keep it up to date so that I can do my best to follow through with it, keep a mental note of the things that haven't worked this week, like underestimating time, and not including certain activities like my vlog, making sure I've got, see, tomorrow as well, I can see I haven't written when to film it, or any other days, though normally I'm doing it when I'm doing my makeup, but tomorrow I probably won't be because I'll just be at home all day. So yeah, I think I'm going to revise this now, actually, now I've talked through it. But yeah, that is what I'm up to. Really excited about the house, hoping all the building and pest inspection and everything, and the finance and everything just checks out and gets approved. So it could be vlogging from a very different place in a month's time. I'm really excited too, because the master bedroom is huge. It's got a whole walk-in robe and ensuite, and the room is probably like, with not including that, is about 2 times the size of this room, if not more. So many corners for plants. There's a corner for like a really comfy reading chair. Gonna put fairy lights. And I was saying to Steve today was like, do you know what I'd love to have in our room? Just like a high shelf with all these plants that like can grow down, like the dangly ones. I was just like, I am so glad I have got you into indoor plants and fairy lights, because that's what I want my house to be. Just don't even need furniture, I just need white walls, indoor plants, and fairy lights. I've been reading A Beautiful Mess lately, and Kate Levy, her blog as well, which I mentioned yesterday. But if you know any really good interior design blogs, please leave a comment. Anyway, I'm gonna wrap it up now. I will see you tomorrow. Bye.